Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Today it is time to have a look at the first devblog for the new Battle Pass, which is going to obviously be the first one of 2023 for War Thunder. They've started off with the Naval Edition, which is going to be the Project 183 BM-21. This is a PT boat that has a bunch of rockets strapped to the back, and to be honest, this one, I think, will probably be my favorite out of the ones that they add in, just because I do enjoy Naval Coastal quite a lot. Being able to play arcade, running around like a crazy person, and just kind of shooting all the guns and smashing people around is just really fun. You know, it's a good kind of relaxation for me. Just a lot of bang bang bangs, and a lot of bong bong bongs, and a lot of just speeding all around the place. It kind of reminds me of when I used to play Air Arcade at the lower tiers, where it was just a massive bees nest, a beehive of just a ton of people going in and just smashing stuff. That to me is what Naval Arcade is, especially at these BRs. It gets a little bit more complicated once destroyers get involved, but before then, it is pretty fun. Anyway, this is going to be a rank 3 premium for the USSR, so it's going to be good for dailies and specials, and also grinding those higher tier coastal machines, which are very powerful for the Soviets. Let's get into the history of this machine. The Project 183 large torpedo boats were designed with the experience of the Soviet Navy in the Second World War, keeping high seaworthiness, good sailing performance, and modern armament as priority characteristics. The project became one of the most massively produced torpedo boats in the history of the USSR, with numerous versions and modifications, including the first carrier of anti-ship missiles in history. Aside from domestic service, the boat was delivered abroad, including Cuba, East Germany, China, and Egypt. One of the modifications of the boat in the Egyptian service had the BM-21 multiple launch rocket system installed in place of the stern turret. The torpedo armament was dismantled from the boat in this version. Project 183 BM-21 also received more advanced navigation radar. The most similar vehicle in-game that we have to the Project 183 BM-21 is actually the Project 183 itself, the Bolshevik as it's known. And I've got to say, as a 3.3 vehicle at rank 4, I've had a really good time with this one. The two sets of dual 25mm and the two torpedoes make it a very powerful PT boat to contend with, so very high firepower, very high maneuverability, but not a lot of survivability, which is generally what you get from a lot of these PT boats. Looking at the one which is coming in, you're getting the same thing, apart from you're losing some features and adding a unique one. So you lose a dual set of 25, so pretty much halving the firepower that this thing has, which is a big blow, and then also losing the torpedoes. So if you do get into destroyer matches, the vehicle won't be as powerful. The thing is, though, because it's losing one of its turrets, it may be a lot lower BR, which would mean that it would be a lot better at the lower echelons. The Soviet trees, when it comes to the coastal side, has a really strong 3.0 and has a really strong 2.3-2.7 area with a lot of variants. So you have armored boats, which are quite fun with larger guns and a bit more survivability, and then you have a lot of speed with stuff like the PR-123K, or even, once again, the PR-183. Then you got middle ground stuff like the BMO, which isn't too bad. So if this thing comes in at 2.7 or 3.0, it slots into already pretty good lineups, and therefore, as a premium option, will be really nice to get into the higher echelons of the tree. As this is a naval vehicle, usually it's not, looked at as favorably as many others, but in my opinion, the naval vehicles have been some of the strongest when it comes to the more recent events. The summer event, the winter event, and usually the Battle Pass vehicles are interesting and add cool mechanics, stuff like the LCM-6 Zippo, for example, and of course the more recent edition of the Newport News, which could easily be described as one of, if not the best cruisers in the game of the Des Moines class. Now, if this trend continues when it comes to War Thunder, where we get more and more of these really good machines as Battle Pass and also event vehicles, obviously this is great because it means that you can, grind them out and you can get something which you deem as valuable. But the only issue with it is it means that players who may want these machines in the future are going to either have to turn to the market or not be able to see them at all. And that is always a problem that I've had with limited time events, especially with battle passes in general. So for a machine like this, It may not seem like it's that different or that unique, but the thing that's going to really define it is the BR that it finds itself at. And since we've had a really long list of very good event vehicles for Naval, there's no reason why this one would be any different. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd like to thank Forge, Siegebreak, Carrion Crow, Nicholas Richardson, Elove Goat, Pyman, Winter Scientist, Merciless Reaper, Orange Tail, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, Moxie, B. Young, and also Sem Arslan, Wilkski, Uncle Bean, Derek R., Bareen, Lafouche, and Samuel Slick for supporting the channel.